Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating, and frankly, quite long at nearly 3 hours, interview with Elon Musk from the Darkish Patel YouTube channel. We've taken that extensive conversation and distilled his bold, perhaps even startling, vision for the future of AI compute right here into this concise overview. So let's get right to the heart of it. This is the core thesis from Elon Musk, and it's a prediction that really underpins everything else we're going to discuss. The argument is this. In just 3 years, the entire economic model for artificial intelligence is going to flip completely. We're talking about shifting its center of gravity from Earth-based data centers into orbit. Okay, but that immediately raises a huge question, right? Why would such a radical, let's be honest, it sounds like science fiction. Why would that kind of solution become not just viable, but actually economically necessary? Well, the answer starts with a major problem, a crisis of physical constraints right here on Earth. See, Musk frames this whole problem not as a limitation of software or algorithms. That's not the issue. He says it's about fundamental physical infrastructure. You have this exponential demand for AI compute that's just skyrocketing, and it's slamming right into our linear and, in some cases, totally stagnant ability to actually power it on the ground. And this bottleneck really comes down to 3 major physical limitations. First, you've got electrical output. Outside of China, it's pretty much flat, no real growth. Second, regulation. The process for building power plants, getting those interconnect agreements with utilities, it's just incredibly slow. We're talking sometimes a year for just a single study. And third, it's the physical hardware itself. Things like the vanes and blades for gas turbines are backlogged for years. You just can't get them. And this quote really captures the essence of the problem, doesn't it? The people who've lived in the digital world, this seemingly infinite world of software, are now bound by the very finite, very slow-moving realities of manufacturing, power generation, and regulation. It's like a collision of 2 completely different clock speeds. So, in response to these earthbound limits, Musk proposes a solution that leverages the really unique physics and economics of operating in orbit. The foundational advantage here all comes down to efficiency. According to Musk, a single solar panel in space is roughly 5 times more effective at generating power than the exact same panel sitting on the ground. That's a massive difference. And this 5 times improvement really just stems from basic physics. Think about it. In space, there's no atmosphere to block the sunlight, there's no day-night cycle, no clouds, no weather. This gives you constant 24/7 power generation. And here's the kicker. You don't need massive, expensive battery storage systems. Musk even notes this can make the whole operation up to 10 times cheaper overall. Now, this entire vision, all of it, it hinges on one single critical technological breakthrough, fully reusable rocketry. It's the dramatic reduction in the cost to launch mass into orbit, something pioneered by SpaceX, that transforms this whole idea of space-based power from just a theoretical concept into an economically viable industrial strategy. Without that, none of this works. And the scale of this ambition is just immense. To put it in perspective, Musk says SpaceX is gearing up for a launch cadence of 10,000 Starship flights a year. That's a rate comparable to commercial airlines, all just to build out this orbital infrastructure. But you see, moving compute to space isn't really the end goal. It's actually an enabling step in a much, much larger vision. One that involves automated manufacturing, geopolitical competition, and really the entire future of labor. And central to that vision is the Optimus humanoid robot. Musk calls it an infinite money glitch. And here's why. Because of its potential for recursive self-improvement. The idea is, once an Optimus robot can build more Optimus robots, manufacturing capacity is no longer limited by human population. It can just scale exponentially. This whole technological push is happening against a backdrop of really intense geopolitical competition. Musk uses electricity output as a kind of proxy for industrial capacity. And what he points out is that China's output is on track to be 3 times that of the United States. That signifies a massive, massive manufacturing disparity. So the strategic calculation here is pretty stark. With only about a fourth of the population, Musk argues the US simply cannot compete with China on human labor alone. So, to bring back critical industries, think ore refining, you need a new, scalable labor force. That's where Optimus comes in. And this is interesting, this actually shifts the bottleneck. Once you solve the power constraint by going to space, the new limiting factor becomes how fast you can produce chips. And this is where the discussion pivots. It moves away from the technical and the geopolitical and toward the profoundly philosophical. It starts to explore what it even means for us, for humanity, to exist in a world where AI is no longer just a tool we use. And this really is the fundamental question of the AI era, isn't it? When a creation vastly surpasses its creator in cognitive ability, what does that future relationship even look like? Well, Musk's answer is characteristically pragmatic and direct. He pretty much dismisses the whole idea of maintaining human control over a vastly superior intelligence. He calls it unrealistic and frames it as a foolish assumption. Okay, so if control isn't the goal, then what is? Musk proposes alignment, but alignment through a shared mission. He suggests that an AI whose core mission is to understand the universe must, by necessity, be curious. It must value existence, and it must be rigorously truth-seeking. And he argues that this kind of value system would inherently favor preserving and studying humanity, as one of the universe's most interesting phenomena. So, to wrap things up, Musk presents this multi-stage vision that directly connects the hardware constraints we're facing today to a future that looks a lot like an interplanetary civilization. The argument really follows a clear, logical path. You start with the prediction that AI compute will be cheapest in space. That's a response to a real-world problem, the physical limits on Earth. Then you have the solution, which leverages unique tech and physics. And the final implication? Well, it's a complete reshaping of the global economy and, just maybe, the destiny of our species. And this all leaves us with one final critical question. Is this whole progression from terrestrial limits to orbital infrastructure to robotic labor, is this just the inevitable next step for an advanced technological society? Or does it represent the single greatest, highest stakes gamble humanity has ever taken? Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please use the QR code at the beginning or end of this video to buy us a coffee. We recommend that you subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel and ask that you please like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.